Want to know the weird truth about scaling a coaching business? Most coaches are working 10 times harder to get 2 times the results when they could be working 2 times smarter to get 10 times the impact. The difference? It all comes down to one crucial mindset shift that separates practitioners from CEOs. And here's what's fascinating. This isn't about working more hours or adding more services or even getting more certifications. In fact, those things might actually be holding you back. Ready to discover the shift that changes everything? Let's dive in. Welcome, coaches. I'm Jackie Appleby, online business manager, business coach, and your guide on this journey towards not just building a successful coaching business, but creating a transformative one. You want to grow your coaching business while leading your best life, and I'm here to share tips, tricks, and strategies to make that dream achievable. With years of experience in the coaching industry, I've helped countless coaches move from feeling completely overwhelmed and chaotic to calm and thriving using my Coach to CEO framework. So if you're ready to transform your business, then you are in the right place, my friend. So here's the thing about scaling to 7 figures. It's not actually about working harder, getting more certifications, or even having the perfect marketing funnel. The real barrier is simpler and more fundamental than that. It's about how you think about growth itself. Let me show you what I mean. When I work with coaches who are stuck at 6 figures, I notice that they all ask the same types of questions. How can I serve more clients? How can I work more hours? What new skills do I need? How can I do more marketing? But coaches who scale successfully to 7 figures, they ask completely different questions. For example, they might ask, how can I amplify my expertise to create exponential value? How can I build assets that generate results without my constant presence? And what parts of my methodology could serve people even when I'm not in the room? Do you see the difference? One mindset keeps you trapped in the limitations of time and personal capacity, and the other opens up possibilities for exponential growth. Think about it this way. A practitioner might ask, how many clients can I personally coach? While a CEO asks, how can I create a coaching framework that delivers regardless of scale? This isn't just a subtle shift. It's the difference between being capped at 6 figures and breaking through to 7 figures. Because here's the truth. You can't work your way to 7 figures through pure effort. The math simply doesn't work. You need to fundamentally shift how you think about growth. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Jackie, I get it. But how do I know if I'm stuck in practitioner thinking? Well, let's break down the 5 telltale signs that I see most often. Now, I want you to be really honest with yourself here. How many of these sound familiar? Sign number 1, you measure success by hours spent with clients. You know what I mean. You're constantly looking at your calendar, trying to squeeze in just one more session, convinced that more client hours equals more success. But here's the thing, when your income is directly tied to your time, you've built yourself a really expensive job, not a scalable business. Sign number 2, your growth strategy is all about you doing more. Everything on your to-do list starts with, I need to. I need to create more content, I need to do more networking, I need to learn another coaching methodology. Does that sound familiar? The problem is that this kind of thinking puts all the pressure on you to be the engine of growth. And let me tell you, there are only so many hours in the day, and you're probably already using most of them. Sign number 3, you're obsessing about the competition and market noise. Now, this is huge, and I see it all the time. You're constantly looking at what other coaches are doing, worried about how crowded the market is, concerned about all the noise out there. But here's the truth. When you're stuck in practitioner thinking, everyone looks like competition. And when you shift to CEO thinking, you stop worrying about the noise because you're playing a completely different game. You're not competing, you're creating. Sign number 4, every business decision depends on your personal bandwidth. When a new opportunity comes up, your first thought is, do I have time for this? Instead of, how can this be structured to work without me? This is a classic practitioner trap, and it's probably causing you to say no to opportunities that could help you scale. And sign number 5, you're investing in the wrong things. Instead of investing in yourself as a CEO and building a real business infrastructure, you're pouring money into things that keep you stuck in practitioner mode. Think about it. Are you investing in things that will help you scale, or just things that will make you a better practitioner? There's a big difference between investing in another certification and investing in systems and support that will help you reach more people with what you already know. See, here's what's fascinating. Scaling to 7 figures isn't about doing more or knowing more. It's about becoming more. Who do you need to be to run a 7-figure business? Because here's the truth. You need to step into that CEO role first and then allow the 7 figures to follow. Let me show you what this looks like in action, because this is where everything changes. Remember how we talked about asking different questions? Let's see how this plays out in real business decisions. When a potential client reaches out, a practitioner immediately thinks, when can I fit them into my calendar? But a CEO, they're thinking, how does this align with our larger vision and delivery model? Let me give you another example. I had a client, let's call her Sarah, who was stuck at around $150,000 a year. She was an amazing coach, totally booked out with some impressive clients, but she was exhausted, constantly worrying about maintaining her income and honestly starting to resent her own success. Know why? Because she was thinking like a practitioner. Every new opportunity meant more of her time, more of her energy, more of her personal involvement. So here's how we shifted her thinking. Instead of asking, how can I serve more clients? She started asking, how can my expertise serve more people? Instead of, what else should I learn? She asked, how can I better leverage what I already know? And instead of, how can I work more? She asked, how can I create more value? And this is where it gets really interesting. When she started thinking like a CEO, suddenly she saw opportunities everywhere. That framework she used with her one-on-one clients, it became the foundation of a group program. Her unique approach to leadership development, that turned into intellectual property that her associate coaches could deliver. But here's what's really fascinating, and this addresses a fear I know many of you have. The quality of her impact didn't go down. It went up, because instead of spreading herself thin to do everything, she focused on refining and amplifying what already worked. This is exactly what Dan Sullivan talks about in his book, 10x is easier than 2x. When you think bigger, the solutions actually become simpler. You stop trying to optimize every minute of your day and start creating systems of value that can grow beyond your personal capacity. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Jackie, I don't have a team yet, or I'm not ready for all of that. Maybe you're a brand new coach just starting out, or maybe you're one of those business owners who says, look, I don't want to earn $1 million. I just want to replace my corporate income and have some freedom. I'm not planning on growing a huge team. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what your end goal is, whether you're aiming for 7 figures or simply want a sustainable business that gives you more time with your family. This shift in thinking needs to happen before you have all the pieces in place. Without the right thinking, you won't get to any of your goals. Remember what we said earlier. You need to be that person first, then allow the success to follow. Because the truth is, practitioner thinking will keep you stuck, overwhelmed, and trading time for money, regardless of what income level you're targeting. So how do we actually start making this shift? Because let's be real, knowing you need to think differently is one thing, but actually rewiring those thought processes, that's where the real work happens. Let me share something that might surprise you. Like any new way of thinking, this isn't about making some huge transformation overnight. It's about practice. Just like you tell your clients, sustainable change happens through consistent, intentional steps. Let me show you what I mean with a simple exercise that you can try right now. Take something that you're currently working on in your business. Maybe it's your client onboarding process or how you deliver your coaching sessions. Now, instead of asking, how can I do this better? That's practitioner thinking. Ask yourself, how can I design this to work without me? Do you feel that? That slight discomfort? That's the edge of where growth happens. That's when you start shifting from practitioner to CEO thinking. And here's what's fascinating. Once you start practicing this new way of thinking, you'll see opportunities everywhere. Suddenly that challenge that you've been struggling with becomes an invitation to create something bigger than yourself. If you want to start building this CEO thinking muscle slowly but surely, take a look at my CEO Block Breaker workbook. I've linked it in the description. It's designed to help you take those first steps from being in the day-to-day to stepping into those CEO shoes. And here's one final powerful reframe to take with you today. Instead of thinking, what more do I need to do to learn to be successful? Start asking, how can I maximize the impact of what I already know? Because here's the truth. You already have the expertise that can transform lives. The shift from practitioner to CEO isn't about becoming a different person. It's about amplifying who you already are and the value that you already create. So remember, whether you're aiming for 7 figures or simply want a business that gives you more freedom, the mindset shift has to come first. Stop trying to work harder and start thinking bigger about how your expertise can create impact beyond your personal capacity. Now, if this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to catch more strategic insights like this. I'm here every week. And if you're ready to start practicing that CEO thinking, grab the CEO Block Breaker workbook using the link in the description below. And drop me a comment and let me know which of the 5 practitioner signs hit home for you. I read and respond to every comment, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, remember, you don't need to work 10 times harder. You just need to think 10 times bigger. I'll see you in the next video.